Hey, it's Paul Janka here, and in this video I'm going to show you a simple three-step formula that takes you from the first meeting with a girl all the way to the bedroom without ever going on a single date. In fact, I'm going to show you how you can get the hottest girls to sleep with you without even making a single phone call. Sounds impossible, right? Well, you should know that already 63,829 guys have used this formula to meet and quickly sleep with hotter women. And that number grows each and every day. It's the same process I personally used to go from a socially awkward Harvard student who barely, if ever, got laid to a guy that many now consider to be New York's most infamous playboy. Because I sleep with several girls a week whenever I use this simple yet unusual method, I was invited onto the Dr. Phil, the Today Show, interviewed by newspapers like the New York Post and magazines like Psychology Today. The bottom line is it works. It's worked for me and it's worked for tens of thousands of guys. And it can work for you too. So, pay close attention and be sure to watch to the very end of this video, which won't be available for too long because I'm also going to reveal how to quickly turn virtually any woman on and get her interested in you often in the first 30 to 60 seconds, how to permanently escape the friend zone, both with girls you've just met or those you've known for years, and most importantly, how, without dating or spending a single penny on her, you can get her to come to your place for sex. Best of all, this formula is effective even if you're not tall or good looking, regardless of how much money you have in the bank or what kind of car you drive, and especially if you've tried other things before and failed. In fact, I'll go so far as to say that the more average you are in terms of looks, height, or wealth, the quicker you'll see results from this devastatingly simple formula. Because, believe it or not, those things can actually hurt you when it comes to developing the verbal game you need to get women to take the next step with you. Now, if you've ever read any books or magazine articles about dating and the opposite sex, it's easy to get confused. I mean, when it comes to women and seduction, everyone seems to have different advice. Some say you should be chivalrous and sweet. Others tell you to be a bad boy. Some experts say you should show your interest immediately, while other gurus say you should be laid back and indifferent. It's no wonder guys are so confused. Yet, despite all the debating, there's one simple fact nobody can argue with. Ask any woman what she looks for in a man, and once you get past the stock answers like, I just want a nice guy, or I want a guy who treats me well, answers which fail to explain why women often fall for jerks or bad boys, you'll ultimately get her to admit that she is attracted to confidence. Duh, right? We've all heard this before. It's probably the single most universal truth there is in the area of women and attraction. All women are attracted to confidence 100% of the time, period. But what the heck does it really mean to have confidence anyway? And how do you get it? You see, knowing women like confidence doesn't really help us guys all that much. Especially because society also promotes the idea that confidence is something that you either have or you don't. And so if you don't have it, you're screwed, right? Wrong. I used to think this way. Most guys do, but I was dead wrong for reasons you'll soon discover. Sure, there are different types of confidence, some of which can come from having money, being good-looking or famous, being well-endowed, and so on. Yet there's only one type of confidence that makes a difference in your ability to get hot women to want to be with you sexually, regardless of your age, looks, how famous you are, or how much money you're willing to spend on her. What I'm talking about is real confidence, which only comes when you have the knowledge and ability to easily meet women and continually take the next step with them, from that first hello all the way to the bedroom. There's simply no substitute for that kind of confidence. And if you're a regular guy like me, it's the only way you're going to have options with beautiful women of your choice. In other words, if you want to be a cool, confident guy who can get sex or a hot girlfriend almost at will, the formula is simple. You must be able to approach an attractive woman, get her phone number, get her to meet you ideally at your place, and quickly take things to a sexual level. On the other hand, if you can't do any one of these things consistently, you'll almost always struggle to build a desirable dating and sex life. What's worse, women will feel a sense of confusion or hesitation in you if you can't do this properly, and of course they won't be attracted to you. It's a vicious cycle. We've all been there, because when you're not getting sex, you don't feel as sure of yourself when you approach women. You'll hesitate even more when asking for her number or making the move to get physical. Or worse, you'll come across as desperate or needy. And then, of course, she'll immediately disqualify you as a potential sexual partner. Over and over, the pattern keeps repeating itself. I know some guys who haven't been laid in years, or who have never slept with a girl hotter than a 5 or 6. Needless to say, I too experienced this over and over when I was first starting out, and it's a huge problem for many of the guys I coach on a regular basis. For a while, this totally depressed me. I can't tell you how painful it is to live in a city like New York that's filled with beautiful women from around the world, and just constantly sit there on the sidelines, feeling trapped and thinking there was nothing I could do about it. This went on for years, actually, and then one day, and I'm not really sure why, something just snapped inside me. I was walking down 3rd Avenue near my apartment when I spotted this insanely hot Russian 20-something standing in front of Starbucks. She was tall, with long, gorgeous legs, and had that kind of stuck-up expression on her face that you often see in model types. Ordinarily, I would have just passed her and regretted it for weeks, but for some reason this time I thought I need to go talk to her, even though deep inside I felt totally sure she was going to shoot me down. And so I walked over and explained that I had just moved into the area and was looking for the nearest subway station. After she told me where it was, I quickly made a joke about her shoes. They were bright pink, and she laughed. We chatted a tiny bit more, and since she wasn't brutally rejecting me like I had expected she would, I decided to just go for it and ask for her number. I could see she was hesitant at first, but I kind of just shoved my phone into her hands and said, "Here," and shockingly enough, she began typing it in. Still, what really surprised me most was that the whole thing was done in about 60 seconds. I was floored by this, so I began approaching women more often and going for the phone number fast. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But the high I got when it worked was so good, I wasn't nearly as bothered if a girl refused to give me her number. And of course, I got better with practice, and I've got some much better ways to avoid getting rejected now. But back then, I would simply just think next, and quickly move on to the next one, and the next one. I was becoming a machine. I was literally able to get phone numbers left and right, often from hotties I would have never dreamed of talking to before. But unfortunately, I still wasn't getting laid. Yet. At this point, I was beginning to get really tired of taking these girls out, whining and dining them or paying for drinks, only to still come home empty-handed, or with just a peck on the cheek that would only add insult to injury. So, I decided to do something totally radical and just cut out the dates altogether. Sounds totally crazy, I know, but my reasoning was, hey, I'm not getting laid anyway, so if I invite them straight to my place and skip the date, worst thing that will happen is they say no. But best case is that we'll have sex without the wasted time or money of going out and getting nothing in return. I felt like I had nothing to lose. Not every girl agreed to come over, and I definitely screwed up the first few times women came over to my place, but eventually I was able to start getting results. It wasn't long before I came to the point where I could walk up to a hottie on the street, chat her up, often to walk away with her number in about a minute or so, and then eventually get her to meet me at my place, where we'd often start hooking up within minutes. It was unbelievable. This was the total opposite of everything I've ever been taught about women and dating. And in the end, I boiled it down to 3 simple steps. Chat her up and get the number, text her to come over to my place, once in my apartment, set the mood, and focus on getting physical within the first hour. Of course, there was more to succeeding with the process than that. In fact, there's a lot of little things you must know and do if you're going to succeed with this formula, whether you use it for hookups or to meet women that are girlfriend or even marriage material. Which is why I created a step-by-step manual explaining exactly how the entire process works, from A to Z in extreme detail, which I call the attraction formula. Put simply, this manual gives you everything you need to know to put this amazing method to work and easily meet hot women throughout your daily life, whether it's on the street, in the grocery store, while standing in line at Starbucks, or anywhere else. You'll get everything I know, nothing is withheld, from what to say when you walk up to her, to how to ask for her number, how to smoothly get her to your place, and of course, how to close the deal once she's there. Again, these are the same secrets that got me invited on the Dr. Phil Show, the Today Show, and a bunch of other media attention, and have also worked for 63,289 guys and counting just like you. Because the simple fact is there's never before been a method like this, something that regular guys like us can use to meet women on our terms, meaning no BS dates, no chasing her and playing her games, no more finishing the night empty-handed. Either she plays by your rules and comes over, or it's on to the next one. In fact, I want you to take a second to hear from real guys who have actually used this same formula to get the results they wanted with women. Your program is amazing, says Matt. This system actually works, Anthony. Best thing I've ever done, Josh. Ignore this advice at your own peril, Joe. Already more confident with women, Stephen. Phenomenal product, Ryan. Gonna change my life, John. Got digits from the hottest girl I've ever talked to, Roland. Absolutely amazed at the results, Danny. Needless to say, this is extremely powerful stuff. It gives you an almost unfair advantage, whether you're looking to date multiple women or finally meet and turn an all-around awesome 9 or 10 into your girlfriend. In fact, in just minutes from now, you can download the Attraction Formula Manual, where you'll discover that there are 10,000 different things you can do with a girl, 10,000 different ways to go, but only 3 will lead to you having sex with her. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're never going to make it happen. And what I reveal inside the Attraction Formula also helps you understand why just 5% of men get 90% of the girls. I mean, that's a jaw-dropping statistic. You'll learn about the female reward paradigm and how it totally robs you of your sexual power, both in dating and in relationships. It doesn't matter whether you're looking to date 10 different women or be in a serious relationship. You must know this if you want a satisfying sex life. You'll discover why women, especially the hot ones, are hardwired to quickly disqualify you. This means 2 things. 1, you must know and avoid the red flags a woman will use to immediately eliminate you from sexual consideration. And 2, you need to know how to turn the tables so that you are the one screening her and forcing her to win your approval. You'll also see why once a girl likes you, you're pretty much in. You don't have to do much after that to get sexual. It's simply a matter of not screwing it up. Along those lines, I'll show you exactly how to get a girl to give you her number and then come over to your place, usually without a single phone conversation beforehand. I'll teach you about the O rule, and no, I'm not talking about orgasms. That makes it a breeze to sleep with her and define the relationship on your terms after that. You'll also discover the 6-letter V word that will immediately change your sex life and confidence forever. It's not vagina. I could tell you what it is, but you'd never believe me or understand why it's so powerful until you've had the proper foundation you'll receive during the first half of the Attraction Formula. You'll understand why your ability to meet women works exactly like a muscle. I'll show you how to exercise it slowly and safely while also working your way up to more challenging and rewarding interactions with 9s and 10s. I'll show you 2 crucial male qualities that nobody ever talks about when they refer to alpha males. These 2 things are way more important to get the desired outcome with women than any of the typical macho stuff you're told about in books or movies, yet not one guy out of 100 knows them. You'll find out what mojo really is, and sorry, it has nothing to do with Austin Powers, and how to cultivate it so that you feel unstoppable, so much so that women will immediately recognize it in you and do just about anything you want. You'll discover why you should never try to meet women in bars and clubs, the absolute worst place you can go to meet or hang out with women. 4 unlikely locations for meeting women that massively multiply your chances of success, plus the only suitable place I've found for a first date. I'll also teach you how to always seize windows of opportunity whenever you see a hot girl passing by, even if you feel totally intimidated or nervous. Remember that the hot girl who passes you by will probably never pass you again, and the number one thing we humans regret are the chances we failed to take, not the mistakes we made. You'll find out the 2 little-known things you must convey almost immediately to get her feeling attracted to you, yet also safe. Plus, 6 easy ways to establish trust in the first 60 seconds. I'll use these to rapidly get a girl's number and then have her come to my place fast, which would be impossible if she didn't trust me. And it's easy to learn once you understand this loophole in female psychology. Another thing I'll show you in the Attraction Formula is how to tell when it's okay to pick up a woman who is with another guy, and why they are often not together. And if you can't easily tell, I'll also reveal an innocent question you can use to safely determine whether the guy hanging around is gay, a buddy, or a guy who has romantic intentions but whose game is so weak that she isn't interested. You'll discover why it's crucial to always sidestep women's pride issues so they feel that nothing is being risked. When you do this right, you make it ridiculously easy for her to say yes to you. Plus, I'll show you exactly why you should always avoid yes-no questions. I'll teach you the top 6 topics to maintain a woman's peak interest during conversation by far. Remember that women are verbal creatures, and if you can't engage them verbally and lead a conversation, you won't be able to lead them into the bedroom either. I'll show you the quickest, easiest, most rejection-proof way to ask for her number. A simple way to hold your phone that makes it 5 times more likely that she'll say yes when you ask for it. Plus, an almost devious 6-word sentence plus a smiley face you can text to her, one that I often use an hour after getting a girl's number. This helps keep the momentum and connection going after you walk away without appearing needy or weird, something that's crucial and overlooked by most inexperienced guys. I'll also show you why, if you're not getting rejected by at least some women, you are simply not getting laid. And you'll see why that's totally okay, because I also show you a simple psychological switch you can use to change the way your brain processes rejection, so that you can brush it off like you would crumbs off your shirt. Just by reading the book, you'll feel a strong mental shift and a feeling of increased dominance that will help you in all areas of your life, making you stronger, more resilient, and far less concerned with what other people think of you. You'll find out what I mean when I talk about the art of pipelining and why you must have this in place, whether you're looking to sleep around or find that one perfect girl. Don't believe the Hollywood BS that your dream woman is just going to magically appear someday. She won't. And without a pipeline constructed in the way I show you, chances are you'll never meet her. You'll see why good looks, muscles, or wealth can actually work against you, and how to make sure they don't if you do have them. Why it's extremely hard to pick up that smoking hot woman in the gym, and what to do instead. How the scruffy look can be a huge asset when out meeting women on the streets, and how to do it right. Plus, 7 fashion tips that will make you more attractive on any budget. I'll show you the D word that governs 90% or more of your ultimate success with women. I guarantee no one has broken it down for you like this before. Plus, the one and only time it's okay to spend money on a woman, and why most guys have this backwards. You'll quickly see why calling girls is a big mistake, and the one exception you need to be aware of. I'll even show you how to double book, or sometimes triple book, girls coming over to your place in a way that practically guarantees you'll be getting some action, without hassle, drama, or headaches. You'll discover exactly what creates sexual tension and why it's like crack for women, and how to take this delicious feeling and amplify it to the point where she'll either attack you and rip your clothes off, yes, this happens more often than you think, or get her so aroused she'll send you crystal clear signals that she's ready for you to grab her and do her like she's never been done before. You'll also get dozens of real-world sex tips that I've discovered from my own experience of thousands of different sexual encounters, and from other guys I know who are extremely good with women. This is totally unlike the BS in sex books or in Cosmo. It's the stuff that actually works to turn women on and get them off in a way that keeps them coming back for more. Ironically, you'll even learn why the best nights to see a woman are Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night, and why you should never plan a meetup more than 2 nights in advance. I'll also show you how to avoid obsession or fixation on one particular girl, a big problem for most guys. Plus, how to know immediately when to delete a dangerous or problematic girl's phone number. Seriously, I could go on for hours like this, and believe it or not, everything I've shared is only the tip of the iceberg. I've packed the attraction formula with every single tip, technique, and secret I've discovered in approaching and interacting with thousands of women in one of the toughest environments in the world. Also, that you can quickly and easily master the process of meeting women anytime, anywhere, and then quickly take things to a sexual level in a way you never dreamt possible before. Remember, there's a reason why I'm routinely invited to appear on TV, do newspaper or magazine interviews, or asked to jump onto the radio to talk about this formula. And it's the same reason why, by the time you see this video, it could easily be that 70,000, 80,000, or even 100,000 guys are in the position where they use this formula to create the dating life or relationship they've always wanted. It's because it works. As you've seen, these guys are no different from you. The only difference is that they suspended their skepticism long enough to download the attraction formula and put its radically different process into action. And now it's your turn to do the same. Whether you're looking for a casual one-night stand, multiple friends with benefit type relationships, a serious girlfriend or wife, the relationship does not truly start until you've had that first sexual encounter. And the more quickly you get there, the more you'll be able to define the relationship how you want it to be. And of course, the happier you and she will be. Don't allow yourself to continually sit on the sidelines while the 5% of guys out there who actually understand this stuff get over 90% of the attractive single women. Because you're still watching this, it's clear that you want more and that you deserve better. There's simply never, ever a need for you to go on elaborate, expensive dates that fail to end with sex, or find yourself in the friend zone while another guy swoops in and gets to enjoy wild, passionate nights with that girl who doesn't feel that way about you. Yes, you can finally be the guy who sleeps with her while the friend zone guys in her life drool with jealousy and envy. And believe it or not, you have the ability to sleep with a good percentage of the hot women you see. Women that you currently may be too nervous to even say hi to. But only if you do something about it. Because your dating life is not going to fix itself. It's up to you to be proactive about it, which I totally understand has not been your fault up until now, particularly with all the conflicting advice and information out there. Yet, the attraction formula changes that, because it gives you everything you need to quickly turn the tables and reverse the decisive advantage beautiful women have always enjoyed in the areas of dating and seduction. To get started, simply click on the button below and you'll be walked through a simple, secure checkout process. Within minutes, you can have your copy of the Attraction Formula Manual. And best of all, you can literally be out and using it to meet hotter women today, within hours even. And as you click the button below to download your copy, I want you to keep two things in mind. The Attraction Formula is ridiculously affordable, especially relative to what it does for you. Over the course of a year, it comes out to less than 11 cents per day. Plus, you're protected by my generous no questions asked guarantee, which I don't think you'll need since less than 1% of the guys who've downloaded it have ever asked for their money back. So, it's time to make a decision. There are really just two roads you can take. You can quickly and inexpensively download the Attraction Formula Manual, which gives you a proven, step-by-step process for meeting and sleeping with even the hottest women on your terms, and finally have the love life you know you deserve. Or, you can keep doing what you've been doing, hoping someday things will magically change, which as we both know, only happens in Hollywood. Frankly, only one of these choices makes any sense, especially when the Attraction Formula costs just pennies per day, has been proven to work for me and over 63,829 other guys, and is backed by my ironclad, no-risk, money-back guarantee. You know what to do now. Simply click the order button below, enter your info, and then immediately download your copy of the Attraction Formula. You're just minutes away from starting an exciting process that will forever change the way you interact with the opposite sex. Gone will be the days when you feel lonely, insecure, or lacking when it comes to having beautiful women in your life. It all starts right now when you download your risk-free copy of the Attraction Formula. There's never been a better time to get started than today, right now, and I look forward to welcoming you aboard. This is Paul Janka signing off, and I'll see you inside the Attraction Formula members area.